Hey guys, is just David there? Hey buddy. Well, I don't have a guest today due to the assembly and wanting to make sure that we gave the awards and had a fun time. So um, I couldn't schedule anybody. So I just thought that I could introduce myself a little bit and tell you more about how I came to Vietnam and a little bit of my story in my journey getting here. Um, And so if you have any questions, for me along the way, I'm here and you can just type to me and we can type back and forth and talk about anything that might pop up. So I am from Ohio in the States. I was actually born in Michigan. That's where most of my family is from. But when I was quite young, our family moved to Ohio, and we moved around quite a lot. When I was young, my dad's job moved to a few cities, and so therefore I'm a little bit used to, kind of like bouncing around to different places, and so that experience kind of shaped my life a little bit, and kind of in a way developed my love of traveling and finding new places and meeting new people. So yeah, and so one of the reasons that I came to Vietnam is, hey Lily, hi Miss Moon. So one of the reasons that I came to Vietnam, or the main reason I came to Vietnam, is because my best friend from home is Vietnamese. His parents met each other after leaving Vietnam in 1975. They moved and they met in Ohio, where they moved to, and then they had a son, and that's my best friend growing up. His name is Andy Ngo, so actually we called him Andy Corn when we found out what Ngo means, and one word for Ngo is corn. So that was pretty funny. And yeah, just me today, guys, because we wanted to have the assembly and make sure that everything was good with the assembly. So no special guest today. We'll have a special guest back on Wednesday and Friday next week, and that will be fine there. So anyway, like I said, my best friend growing up is Vietnamese, and so after many years. After many years, his family decided to visit Vietnam. They had never been back to Vietnam, so after 31 years, they decided to take a vacation, a holiday to Vietnam for about 2 weeks. And so when I heard this news, I was like, "Wait, you're going to Vietnam?" And they said, "Yes, we're going to Vietnam." I said, I'm going too, because I had never even been out of the country. And a little lagging. Okay, no, my friend is not famous. My friend Andy, he still lives in Ohio, and he has a family there, and yeah, he's doing fine there. So, but anyway, we came to Vietnam for 2 weeks, and oh man, like it was crazy to me. I had never seen so many motorbikes and so many people. My hometown is quite small. It's maybe the same amount of people as Vũng Tàu. So Vũng Tàu has about 300,000 người, and that's the same as my hometown. So about 300,000 people. So when I came to Ho Chi Minh City, I was like, "Oh man, there's just people everywhere," and it's like cool, 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 cool. And it was awesome. And yeah, and then we went around. We visited his relatives, some in Bến Tre, and some in Phan Thiết, and also in Nha Trang. So I saw some coconuts, and then I saw some fish sauce, and had bánh xèo in Phan Thiết, and saw the beach. and then I went to Nha Trang, and it was amazing. And I just thought, wow, this place is so cool. Ohio, where I'm from, Ohio, we don't have any beaches. We don't have anything really exciting, and so I just thought, wow, this would be such a cool place to live, and I just felt something like energy or excitement. Mr. Dave, I like to have fun, and uh, I don't like to be just like quiet and alone by myself. I like a lot of action and excitement. Um, yeah, so that's a good question about my wife. So I can tell you, yes, Ms. Lily with the fish sauce. Yeah, some parts of Phan Thiet Mune are quite smelly. There's a lot of fish sauce and fishing industry there. So yeah, after a 2-week vacation, I decided like, oh man, I have to go back to Vietnam, and I thought, oh, how can I live there? And so I thought, well, it would be amazing if I could go be a teacher. At the time, I was a web designer. I was working at a web developer. Oh, great question, Sherry. I'll get to that a little bit later. And so I decided, like, okay, I will quit my job. I'll leave. I was living in Florida at the time, and I thought, oh, I'll leave and I'll sell everything, and I'll sell my car and sell my clothes and just everything, and then I'll move to Vietnam and train to be a teacher. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. I sold everything, a one-way ticket to Ho Chi Minh City. And yeah, and the rest is history. That was in the year 2007. So actually, I like to say it's funny because I have been in Vietnam for longer than you have. So I think that's pretty funny. Now, as far as meeting my wife, so I just took a vacation myself after the training course to teach English. I took a small holiday in Phan Thiet because I knew it already. I said, "Oh, Phan Thiet Mui Ne is so awesome, so I'll go there again." And I went there, and a little romantic story is that I was at a coffee shop, and I saw this woman, and I was like, oh, she's very cute, and maybe I'll go introduce myself. And so I did, and we had coffee, and we stayed in touch, and little by little, we dated, and I asked her to marry me, and now we have been married for 11 years. Actually, we just had our wedding anniversary last week, so been married a long time. Sammy is asking me, do I love Vietnam or America? I love both. But I don't feel too strongly about like ciao ka ciao wook yeah. Like I don't feel too crazy about loving a country. I kind of love the people that I'm with. I love my family. I love I love many things about many countries. I've lived in obviously I lived in U.S. I live in Vietnam. I live in Oman, and I live in Nepal, and all of those countries have really cool things that I love. But thầy đây muốn nói là Việt Nam là quê hương thứ hai của thầy, and I really feel strongly about Vietnam. I love Vietnam so much, and I feel there's just something in my heart about being here, and I truly believe that I will be here for the rest of my life, because it's just it's an amazing place. So hopefully Cherry and Sammy and Quay, that answers your question. That for me right now, Vietnam is definitely number one, and I assume it will be like that forever. I will stay here for forever. I've only lived in 4 different countries. Like I said, USA, Vietnam, Oman, and Nepal. So I've lived in 4, but I've visited many countries. Like yourself, you guys have visited many countries too. I'm sure that you guys could tell many stories as well about all of your countries. So as far as joining AIS, this is my first year. I think you guys know that. This is my first year at AIS. And so I just, like everybody else, when you get a job, you have an interview. I had like good qualifications, I think. And, I had a lot of experience recently teaching at university. So I taught in some universities in Oman and Nepal and in Ho Chi Minh City. But a long time ago, I did teach in some schools you may know, actually. You may know Lawrence Ting. I worked at that school. And I taught I taught 7th grade there. And a long time ago, I worked at VAS. And I taught 6th grade and 7th grade there. So that's a little bit of my teaching history. I've never been to Europe, Quay and Sammy. Oh, my first job? Ooh, Sammy, that's a great question. Okay, so I can tell you that my first job was working at a pizza place. So I was about 16 years old, and my dad, he just said, "Son, let's go for a drive." And I said, "Okay." So he's going to drive me in the car, and I said, "Where are we going?" And he said, "Don't worry about it." So we're driving, and then he drives into where there's a little mall. It's kind of little shops next to each other. And so we pull in, and I said, "Okay, we're having pizza." I'm like, "We already had lunch. Why are we at a pizza?" And he says, "You go in there and you get a job." And I was like, "What?" And he says, "Yeah, just go in." And so I thought it was pretty funny, and I was like so scared. I was like, "Just go in." He's like, "Yeah, just ask to talk to a manager and ask if you can get a job." And I was like, "Dad, I don't think." He said, "Just go." And so believe it or not, I went right in, and yeah, I walked in and I said, "Hi, is there a manager there?" And he says, "Yes, I'm the manager." He's a really big guy and scary, kind of, And I said, "Oh, well, I'd like to get a job." And he said, "Okay." And I said, "So," and he goes, "Come with me." And so I came in the back room. He said, "Okay, sit down." And I'm like I said, everything he said, he's kind of scary and angry looking. I said, "Okay, now, I'm not joking you. He really asked me only one question about working at the job." Do you know what he asked me? He asked me, "Do you like food?" And I was like, "What?" And he says, "Do you like food?" I said, "Of course. I love food." And he says, "Okay, so you have no problems with food?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Okay, come here tomorrow night at 4:00 and you can start." And I was like, "Okay." And so I turn around to leave, and then he goes, "Oh, what's your name?" He says, I say, "Oh, my name is Dave." He goes, "Okay, Dave, tomorrow, 4:00. I'm like, "Okay." And I'm not joking, you guys. I worked there for 3 years. And it was a lot of fun. I worked there all through high school, which is common in the U.S. Many people, when you're young, you have jobs during high school. You just work maybe a few hours a day, or a few times a week. I think I usually worked Friday night and then Saturday night, things like that. Just a few hours a week, but it was really great. I got to work with a lot of friends. I even got my friends jobs, and it's a lot of fun. Cherry, Cherry's asking about how I met my wife. Cherry, I talked about that a little bit ago in the video. I met her at a coffee shop. So you can go back later and check where I talked about that. So anyway, guys, I'll tell you, working a job during high school is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. You get a lot of skills, talking to customers. You guys know, like, maybe you're studying math right now, adding, subtracting, and so you get to use that in your real life. People give you money, you have to think quickly, give them back their change. So a lot of good skills you can learn if you are able to get a job. I highly recommend. So anyway, yeah. So that's kind of my story. Like I said, I studied. But guess what, Moon? You need to use your brain for the calculator. People won't wait for you. They won't wait for you to be like, oh wait, hold on, beep boop boop beep boop boop boop. They won't wait. They're impatient. So you need to do the math quickly and give them your math. That's part of being a professional and having a job, right? They pay you to do a good job. So, well, Cherry, that's a great question. Cherry is asking, what job did I have in the pizza place? So this is perfect because I had actually many jobs, but at first they just trained me how to make the pizza. So it's pretty cool. We have the pizzas already spread out onto the circle, the pan. And then they tell you, okay, we have the scoop, like they have one big scoop, not this small, but a big one. Have one big scoop of sauce, boop, and then it says another like big scoop of sauce. And then what you do is you spread it around, spread the sauce around. And then at our place, you put on the cheese, like example, you put cheese, take a handful of cheese, spread it around, and then you put pepperonis or any toppings on top. And then it's pretty easy. You put it into the oven, and our oven was cool. You didn't have to think about the time because the oven had like this, I would say like a belt. So the pizza would start here and then move by itself through the oven, and then it would move and you could just pull it out at the end. So actually, it took about 8 minutes to cook a pizza. It was so hot. So sometimes it was funny, people would say, call, and they would say, hey, I want a pizza. I say, yes. And they say, okay, when can I come pick up the pizza? I said, in about 10 minutes. And they say, what? Really? And I would say, hey, look, to be honest with you, it only takes 8 minutes for our pizza oven to cook. And I can make a pizza in like 30 seconds. So I guarantee if you come here in 10 minutes, I'll have your pizza. And they go, wow, really? And I said, yeah, it's great. I said, okay, great. And so really like that. Yeah. But after a while, guys, after you make pizza and your manager see you're responsible, good worker, they can rely on you to do good job. Then I got the job of doing the money. Okay, so customers would come in. I would say, hello, how can I help you? And they will say their name. They say, okay, I have a pizza for Mr. Drew. And I say, oh, okay. And I would go get the pizza, give the pizza, and I would say, toot, 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 toot. That'd be $10. And they give me the money, and I would make change, and that was it. So dealing with the money, be responsible for the money. And, listen, at the end of the day, you have to check the money and make sure that everything is there. And if you're missing money, maybe you made a mistake, you have to pay that. So I got very good very quickly at quick math, adding and subtracting. But again, that was with practice, right? It wasn't perfect all the time, but I got better and better at doing that. So you guys, so Sammy is asking, is making pizza hard? Actually, Sammy, if you work at the pizza place, it's very easy. Because like I said, usually the pizza is already, the dough, the bread is already on the pan. So all you need to do is just take the spoon of sauce. The sauce is made already for you. So you just spoon the sauce, put the sauce, and just put the cheese and whatever they ask for, you just put on and put it in the oven. It's really easy. So it's really a fun job. You're busy, like our busiest time was Friday night. We might have hundreds of people coming in ordering pizza on a Friday night. So you're busy, but it's a lot of fun. We always played music, so we were always like having good music, and you get to talk to people, and it's not like quiet. You're not like you're always talking. So you're doing many things at once, right? You're talking to people. You're thinking about what's coming next. And we had the tickets. We had so we'd write down the pizza order on a ticket. So we'd always go over here, book, pull up the ticket, and be like, okay, we need this, 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 and you think, okay, and then get everything ready. And so it was fast and it was busy, and it was a lot of fun. Yep. Are there any questions? Do you guys have any other questions for me? Do you want to know anything else? Yeah, I did make some friends in the pizza shop. Now I don't talk to them. It's because at that time there wasn't Facebook, or it was hard to keep friends with people. But I have a lot of good memories. Sometimes we're thinking, oh, we have to keep every friend. Oh, I met this person, I must keep them, a friend forever. But sometimes that's not realistic. Sometimes you make a friend, and then okay, you move on to a different part of your life, and then you have that memory of a great time. So I still remember my boss's name was Steve, and he was a cool guy. And sometimes he would let us take pizza home for free. So he was great. And then I remember another guy named Kevin. I worked with a good friend, Matt. So you still remember. Oh, okay. Sammy's asking, one day, how many customers? Guys, I'm telling you, Friday night was crazy. We might have, oh man, I couldn't tell you how many pizzas. Hundreds of pizzas in a night. It's crazy. So I could say we would have, our restaurant could fit maybe 30 people could sit inside and eat. So I'm telling you, on a Friday night, maybe 7 p.m., we would have 30 people sitting eating pizza. And then every few minutes, somebody was coming in. The door had a little bell, so it was like bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. It was crazy. Maybe hundreds of pizzas in hundreds of customers in a night, and it's all the time. There's no stopping. It's just continue from maybe 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. just again and again. Okay, someone is asking me about visiting Bolivia with my family. I would love to. We talked earlier about we love to travel, love to see other cultures. So I would love to visit any country. Bolivia would be great. And if I have a special friend there and special friends, I would love to visit them too. So it'd be great. Okay, so are there any other questions, guys? I think we had a great Friday. The assembly was awesome. Make sure, if you guys remember, to tell Sophia. That's so great. Sophia got the award. Of course, Sammy and Lily. That was awesome. Yeah, of course, there's no vacationing right now. We're not allowed to go anywhere. But sure, after all of this is over, I'd love to go anytime. So guys, are there any questions or anything you want to share or you want me to talk about? I can talk about anything you want me, give you advice, or anything you want to share. And then we can wrap it up. We can go. Oh, we're lucky right now because little Danny is sleeping. So we wouldn't be able to have this conversation today if Danny was here, because he'd be trying to hit the keyboard or attack the laptop. He'd be going crazy right now. So they're sleeping in the bedroom right now. So yeah, Danny is 23 months old, and he's got a lot of energy, a lot of action. So yeah. Oh, before Danny, okay. So here's the thing, guys. I actually, maybe you think this is a little sad or strange, but actually, I didn't really want to have any kids. I kind of like I love to teach, and I love you guys, and I love kids. Um, but I think sometimes like that's my job. I put all my life and my heart into helping you guys and helping kids at school. So sometimes when I come home, I just want to relax, right? So I was thinking, I didn't want responsibility, when I come home to take care of a boy or girl, because I'd be so tired and maybe I couldn't do it, I felt a little bit like, not confident to take care of a baby, because I take care of you guys. Like, you know, Miss Maka, she has 16 babies at school. But remember, I have 3 classes. I have like 45 babies, right? 45 of you guys to take care of. And I love you guys so much. So when I come home, I'm a little bit like, oh man, you know. So I think that's why in the beginning I didn't want to have children. But now it's fine. We have Danny, and it's a lot of fun. But I have to be honest, I am pretty tired when I come home still, and then, Danny does make me tired. I'm just being honest. I love him, and he's fun, but I do feel tired. And remember, I think you guys, it's important to talk and to be honest. You don't have to lie. Oh, yeah, I definitely organize my time. I definitely try to organize my time. So Danny gets up very early. Danny wakes up these days around 5:30 in the morning. So, I wake up with him. Then I get coffee. And I make coffee at my house. Today, Sophia saw I have a really big coffee cup. It's as big as my head, and I have a lot of coffee. And then after that, I usually do some schoolwork. I check some things. But then I try at 6:30. I go exercise with Mr. Eric. He's the PE teacher in 8th grade. So we go exercise together. I go for a walk. And then I come back and I get ready for school, brush my teeth, brush my yellow teeth, and take a shower. And then I chat with you guys, get ready talking, and I do those things. So, normally that's how I schedule my morning. And then after that, wow, I talk to you guys. We do the videos. I try my best to help everybody, um, and it's not hard. It's just, we're all very busy. Yeah. Yeah, I hope. Oh, Cherry, yes, I wish your son is funny. Oh, thank you, Cherry. Look, I miss you guys so much. I wish we could be in school together and having a lot of laughs again. So any final questions? We're getting up to the 30 minutes now. So if there's any final things we want to say. What about, anybody have any special guests you want to have? Any people you want to see? Oh, Danny, actually right now, I think Danny likes me more, because right now my little boy, he's getting in a lot of trouble. So my wife, Haum, she's kind of like, doing the discipline. Like, example, sometimes he broke something, so she take his hand and give a little slap, and he cry, then he runs to me. So he likes me. Okay, Lily, I will check to see if I have a baker if I know a baker, I will try my best to see if I can interview a baker. I don't know right now. Actually, I think I do. So listen, I'll check for you. I do know a baker. However, I don't remember if she speaks English. She's a friend of my wife's. So we'll see. I'll check for you on that. So I have a couple more people that I could interview for you guys. Next week, you guys, there's a special video on Monday. So it's our final video for the unit. So you're going to see me in the final video. And there's also be a special guest there that I think you guys might like. So I'll do my best. Lily, see if I can organize a baker for you. So thank you guys so much for joining, and have a wonderful Friday. Once again, congratulations to Sammy, Lily, and Sophia for getting the awards. I wish I could talk to Gordon Ramsay, but Lily, if I could talk to Gordon Ramsay, I'd probably just ask him lots of questions about cooking from me. So so I'd be selfish about that. Okay. So anyway, I'll do my best for you guys as we always do. Thank you so much for joining, and have a wonderful weekend. Don't be on the phone too much. Okay. Spend time with your family. Okay. Bye.